we are hearing Bhagavad Gita. We heard, O Arjuna, I am easily accessible to that bhakti yogin who is ever intent on me and remembers me at all times and under all circumstances with single-minded and unsullied devotion. Like Prahlad, he was in adverse circumstances, but he was always remembering Supreme Lord and Haridas Thakur, and they are on that platform when their remembrance is constant in all circumstances. They see all circumstances are the grace of Krishna. But for those who did not attain that realization, at least we can practice chanting Harinam under all circumstances, because there are no limitations of time, place, space, and purity, impurity, all this. So we can try to always chant Harinam under all circumstances. Then gradually we can remove all anarthas, others, and that will give us then fixation of mind to the object of worship Shri Krishna, when there will be no any other deviations to take our attention on something else. Mam upetya punarjanma dukkhalayam ashashvatam napnuvanti mahatmanaha samsiddhim paramam gataha. Great devotees are not subject to rebirth, which is full of misery and is liable to destruction, because they have attained the acme of their desires, which is eternal service to me, the all-beautiful eternal Supreme Lord, in their unalloyed existence. This we also already read. Unadulterated, single-minded, loving devotion to the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna is the criterion of bhakti. Setting aside all fruits of karma, jnana, and yoga, he who practices pure devotion with undeviated attention attains his lotus feet in the long run. This we already also read. Means bhakti means when you give up all other desires for non-eternal, for emancipation, or for yogic powers, but only target is to satisfy Krishna. One who has such attitude, he can attain the lotus feet of Supreme Lord, not anyone else who has any other desires. Brahma bhuvana lokah punar avartin arjuna mam upetya tu kaunteya punarjanma na vidyate. O Arjuna, all the worlds from Brahma Loka downwards are subject to rebirth. But, O son of Kunti, he who takes absolute shelter in me and clings to the cult of pure bhakti is not liable to be reborn. Explanation: all the worlds, including Brahmaloka, are subject to the cyclic law. But, O son of Kunti, he who absolutely takes shelter in me and clings to the cult of pure bhakti surely breaks the round of births and deaths. That is to say, is not liable to be reborn. The purport of the statement that karma yogins, jnana yogins, ashtanga yogins, or karma jnana predominating bhakti yogins are exempted from rebirth means that if unsullied devotion be the ultimate end of their respective practices, they are not liable to be born again because of their taking recourse to Kevala Bhakti, which ensures perfect liberation from the stains of the above practices of karma, jnana, and yoga. So if one is in Mishra, but his aim is to advance further from karma to jnana and finally to pure bhakti, then it is also said karmis and jnanis will not take rebirth. If this is their target, they are just on the way now. But if they are not going further, then they will have to take rebirth, because only one who is pure devotee, he will not take birth, because he has no any desire of this world and no any attachment and nothing. So there is, then he will not be. But if someone has, he has to come to take that fruit. Sahasrayuga parjantam aharyat brahmano viduhu ratrim yuga sahasrantam tehoratra vido janaha. Those who know that 1,004 ages make a day of Brahma and another 1,004 ages make a night of Brahma are the knowers of Brahma's day and night. Explanation: 1,004 yugas means Chatur Yuga, 4 together. Satya, Treta, Dwapar, Kali. That is 1 4 yuga or Chatur Yuga. So 1,000 of such is 1 day of Brahma, means 14 manus. If you multiply 4 yugas by 71 times, then that becomes 1 manu. And if you multiply that by 14, because there are 14 manus, then that is 1 day of Brahma, means 1,004 yugas. And another 1,004 yugas make a night of Brahma. When there is night of Brahma, there is partial dissolution of this material universe, not full. Full comes at the end of life of Brahma. And only in 1 day of Brahma, Nandanandan Shri Krishna appears in this world and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So it is very rare. So we should not lose this chance. 360 such days make 1 year of Brahma. 100 such years make the whole span of his life. If he is steadfastly attached to the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna, he is liberated. When such is the case with Brahma, what to speak of the sannyasis living in the Brahmaloka, who are also liable to be reborn? If one follows sannyas dharma perfectly for 100 lives, then he can attain Brahmaloka. And Brahma himself, if he will not become pure devotee, then he will also have to take another birth. So these sannyasis also, they are following Varnashram. If they don't become pure devotees, they will have to take birth. Although their life may be very long, but still it will end and they will have to be born again. That is why Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he sang in that song, Kita janma ho jatatu vadas, Bahir mukha brahmana Janme nahi ash. It is okay, I may be born as an insect. That insect maybe has a lifespan of maybe 1 day, according to us. Very short period. And he said, I can take that bird, but I want to be engaged in your service. I want to have devotion to you. I don't want the birth of Brahma being averse to you. That is, one can say this, one who tasted the nectar of devotion and who knows that devotion is not how to say, blocked by anything, by any material thing. It's not, I cannot find nice word. Ahoitukia pratihata. It cannot be conditioned. It cannot be conditioned by anything. That is the inclination of Atma. So nothing material can hamper that devotion. So that is why they don't mind taking any type of birth, because they don't have any material desires. They only want the service of Krishna. They don't want a long life. They don't want healthy life. They don't want rich life or anything. They only want the service of Krishna. So for them, it doesn't matter which kind of body or whatever. But they don't want, like a Brahma, he has so much opulence, so much power, so much long life, everything. But if no devotion, that is useless for devotees, such birth. Generally conditioned souls, we want beauty, money, all these things. But pure devotees, they don't give anything, any value to this. For them, only value is devotion to Krishna. Oh, here it is further explanation. I did not yet read till the end. One manvantar is 1/14 part of a day of Brahma, which is called Kalpa. One of the 4 yugas called, no, of the 4 yugas, not one, of the 4 yugas called Satya, Treta, Dwapar and Kali. The first is of 1,728,000 years. The second of 1,296,000 years. The third, means Dwapar, is of 864,000 years. And the last is 432,000 years. That is Kali Yuga. 432,000. So all the 4 yugas together consist of 4,320,000 years. 1,000 of such 4 yugas, that is to say, now 1 second. $4,000, no, 1 second. 4 billion and 32 million years. No, 3 4,320,000,000 years. Make 14 Manvantaras, or 1 day of Brahma. Hence, both day and night would be 8,640,000,000 years, or double the set number of years. So that is 1 day and night, 24 hours of Brahma. 1 year of Brahma will thus be 8,640,000,000 multiplied by 360 days, and then there is one very long number. I will not even try to read this beyond my capacity. I can just say like 31104,000,000,000 years, that much. Brahma's lifetime being 100 years. It would come to, and again I will just read the numbers, 311,000,000,000,000,000 years of our calculation, that number. I don't know how to say in trillions and these things. I don't know. Creation takes place when Kalpa begins at day, and cataclysm, this is annihilation, destruction of the world, takes place when Kalpa ends at the approach of night. 14 avatars manifest themselves in each day of Brahma. So in 1 month of Brahma, there are 420. In 1 year, 5,040. And in 100 years, that is the lifetime of Brahma, 504,000 Manvantar avatars. 1 Manvantar is 1,000 divided by 14, means 71 and 7 for yugas. I don't know how in English, 3, then that line, and 7. 3/7. 71 and 3/7 for yugas. That is to say, in every Manvantar, 4 yugas revolve 71 and 3/7 times they will revolve. The present Manvantar avatar is Vaivasvata Manu, the 7th Manvantar of the Shvetavaraha Kalpa. This day, Shvetavaraha it is called. This our day, which is now, of Brahma, is Shvetavaraha Kalpa, and we are in 7th Manvantar, is Vaivasvata Manu. So only in this 28, in this Manvantar, and in 28 Dwapar Yuga, Krishna appears, Nandanana Krishna. And the next Kali Yuga, also 28 Kali Yuga, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears. So we are very fortunate, and we should not miss this chance. The present Kali Yuga is the 28th 4 ages or Yuga of that Manvantar. Jivas are destined to births and rebirths in each kalpa until complete liberation is attained. Complete liberation means when you are reinstated in your Swarup. In Bhagavatam, it is stated there that actual liberation means when you are reinstated in your Swarup as eternal servant of Krishna, because only at that time your gross and subtle body or misidentification with them is fully destroyed by that devotion. Otherwise, you will again and again have to go. Even if creation there will be destruction, then you will enter there into Mahavishnu, and again next creation you will again come out and start from where you finished. So there is no, it is not that just by waiting one day you will be liberated. No, you have to sacrifice all these worldly things and fully dedicate to Krishna. Then only you can be fully and permanently liberated when you are admitted into the transcendental realm of Krishna, being qualified for that when you are pure devotee. Yaktad vyakta yak sarva prabhavan tyahar agame ratyagame praliyante tatraiva vyakta samgyake. When the day of Brahma dawns, means creation begins, all beings, sentient and insentient, and it means including those in Brahmaloka also, are made manifest from the causal unmanifest principle known as Abhyakta. At the approach of the night of Brahma, cataclysm takes place and all beings become unmanifest in that principle called Abhyakta. So they will enter into that and again they will come out. Here explanation to this verse. The gods, mankind, and animals within the three worlds are liable to births and deaths, including those living in Brahmaloka. The reason is that the creation of the world is made manifest from the causal, unmanifest principle known as Avyakta. In other words, creation begins when the day of Brahma dawns, and cataclysm takes place at the approach of the night of Brahma. So the point is that as long as you are within these 14 worlds, you are under karma and you will have to rotate. Only one who will cross this by attaining, even if you attain Biraja like Buddhists or Brahma Jyoti that Gyanis they attain, even from that you will fall down. But after a long time, when again that impetus will come, because you did not, although you fully destroyed this false ego of this world, but you did not uproot the root of that false ego. The root is still there, because the root is our aversion to Krishna. So unless we become inclined to serve Krishna, that will still be there. So even they will also fall down. Not only those who are in 14 worlds, but they also. That verse Brahma told. Those who are Gyanis, they think they are liberated, but because they don't have any adoration for you, O Supreme Lord, they also will have to fall down because of that offense to you. So they will also come down. Bhutagramah sa evayam bhutva bhutva praliyate ratyagame vashah partha prabhavatya ahar agame. The multitude of beings, both sentient and insentient, come into existence at the dawn of the day of Brahma and dissolve at the approach of the night of Brahma. They again assume shape at the approach of dawn of the day of Brahma under the influence of the law of karma. So you are only suspended for the time being, like sleeping. But then when you awake again, you will start from where you finished. So we know that Markandeya Rishi, he got boon by Brahma to have span of life for 7 kalpas, means 7 days, means 7 days and night of Brahma, and he would experience this. In Bhagavatam, that description is there, how he entered into that ocean of destruction and he was suffering, and then he went into that Krishna. That time he would not understand. Again he came out and like this. Then he understood that this is not good to have such long life. In Bhagavatam, the description is there. So only having long life is not like everyone wants long life. But the point is we should desire devotion to Krishna, not long life. Life may be short or long or whatever, but we should have devotion to Krishna. That will fulfill us. That is why Prahlad, when asked for any boon, he said, I don't want any boon. And even if you want to give, then you please give me this boon that I should not desire for any boon. Already he has no any desire, but pure devotees, they are always humble. So he said, you please rescue me from all these wrong desires. Devotees, they only want devotion to Krishna. That is why they are happy and peaceful. But we are fools, or at least I am full. I desire so many things. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, na dhanang, na janang, na sundaram kavidam. Oh, I don't want anything, I only want you. But if you are full, then you will desire so many things, except devotion to Krishna. So I have to associate with wise persons, those who are really wise, pure devotees, to understand this point, that what is my actual requirement and what is not, what is artha and what is anartha, unrequired, unwanted, undesirable, not beneficial. That I have to understand, because obviously I don't understand. And they are practically experienced in that. Real devotees, they are tasting that. That is why, by their help, like Parang Gurudev said to Gurudev, you have to associate with pure devotees, realized soul, because they are speaking. Their explanation is based on realization. So that will be like a sharp sword to cut through all your misconceptions. I may speak same words, but that will not have actual effect. But one who is having taste of serving Supreme Lord, if he will speak, that will cut through all the knots in the heart. Parastasmatu bhavonyo vyakto vyaktat sanatanaha yaksa sarveshu bhuteshu nasyatsuna vinashyati. There is a difference. I may give a very good lecture and also speak same words, bona fide words, but it will not have effect because I myself am not doing that, what I'm speaking. There is one story when one boy was taken to doctor and the doctor saw this is the problem, he should not take sweets. So then doctor told, yes, I know, but you have to bring your child after 14 days here. Then again they brought. Then at that time he said, you should not eat sweets. Then the parents asked, why you didn't tell this if you already knew 14 days back? He said, because at that time I was also eating sweets. So unless I stop eating sweets, knowing well of the bad consequences, and I'm not doing that, how I can have influence, how I can convince someone else? I have to first practice myself, then that will have effect, otherwise not. And this we can see. There are so many classes going on, but one who is acting means he is really engaged in the service of Krishna, he can convince others, can inspire others, not everyone. Words are same, but background is different and the result will be different. That is why it is said that for one to be guru or preacher, he must have knowledge of Shastra, and that is okay, and logic and everything. But he must also be engaged in the service of Krishna, having realized him. Then that will give inspiration to others and proper guidance, because if one is not realized so, he will not know, he will not be sensitive enough, and also he will have no experience of different stages and different circumstances, all this, so he cannot give appropriate advice to disciples. It is not that all advices are same for all. It is not. So he has to prescribe according to condition of patient, then that patient can progress. Otherwise he may prescribe something which is not appealing to that person. It would be like too much, or maybe, or something, some defect will be there. So he must be a realized soul, then he can give proper advice for the progress of that. So preacher also must be at least on Madhyamadikara, because he already subdued his own anarthas. That means at least Nishta stage. Already subdued his own anarthas, and he is firmly engaged in the service of Krishna all the time. So he can have that power to inspire others, and also he can guide them. Uttamadikari will be more powerful, will have more effect, but Madhyamadikari also will have power and proper guidance. So that is why it is said that for guru or preacher, he must be at least on Madhyam. Kanishta should himself first practice and remove all anarthas and become fully dedicated to Krishna. That will be his project first. Not project to rescue others. Then he may, by trying to rescue others, he may fall down by trying to rescue others. Like Turyashami Maharaj explained, in Ganga there was one person who was drowning, and so many people, they wanted to jump to rescue him, but one person said, no, you may know swimming, that is okay, but you don't know the technique of rescuing someone who is drowning, so I will go. So he went because he knew how to rescue. So like that, if Kanishta goes, he is engaged in practice, he has faith like this, but he's not so pure now and not so stable himself, and also he may be swayed by some anarthas, by the company of those others. They will convince him, no, why, it's very good, this enjoyment is very good. They will give some misconception. This is also service of Krishna, why not? So many misconceptions. So Kanishta may be deviated himself. So at least Madhyam. Kanishta should be very careful to practice himself in association of advanced devotees, and if he comes across with someone, then he should try to bring that person to Shastra and to advanced sadhu for guidance. That much Kanishta can do, but he should not independently try to guide someone or rescue someone, because he may himself go down. There in Upadeshamrita, Prabhupada wrote in the commentary to, I think, 5th verse, there he saw sometimes Kanishtas, due to their immaturity and some ignorance and like this, they falsely think that I can be Guru. So when they will try to be Guru or preacher, then they will also fall down. Is there. And through this, they will learn that that was their false thinking, that they are qualified, false thinking. So they have to realize through this experience, or better if they are always in association of advanced devotees, so that false ego will be checked. They will tell you, no, why you want to do this. Yes. Someone once, he encouraged me that I should give initiation. But I did not want. I said I did not receive any such order from my Gurudev. I will commit offense. And I am conditioned soul, full of anarthas. How I can? So I refused. And then also one day, when I had the chance to speak with Gurudev, I was planning to tell him about this, but did not come to that question. There was another question before, but my intention in heart, I had to mention this point. But Gurudev, while replying that first question, already in between, he suddenly said, when I was in Spain, I met one devotee who already changed 6 gurus because they stopped practicing or this. Then Srila Bhakti Vaibhav Puri Gosai Maharaj came. Then after taking shelter of him, then it was okay. So by Gurudev telling me this, I understood that it is he's replying to me on that question, or that I was on that question, or that I wanted to tell to Gurudev. So Gurudev did not encourage any such things on this level. Although he was also not like fully, like totally against that it is absolutely not possible, because in Shastra also it is said Kanishta also can, but that is risky So Gurudev was like not like absolutely totally 100% against, but it was very clear that he is not in favor of these things. And I was also not in favor. I already told him that. So that is why I'm telling that sometimes due to maybe false pride, due to immaturity, I may think, yes, now I can do, but that is very risky in that level. Even Madhyamadikari, he may also fall down if he's not very careful. He already subdued his own anarthas, that is okay. But while helping others, he should not become attracted. And also, if he, Madhyamadikari, he commits some offense to some other Vaishnava preacher, or maybe to Uttamadikari, Vaishnava, some offense, then he will also have to be, he will have to get lesson for that. That he's not on topmost level, and also that he's not the only one, and so many things there. So that is very rare for Madhyamadikari, but it can happen. So still it is little risky, but what to do? It is also his duty. It is Madhyamadikari's duty to help others. So that will be one of his practice by which he will also advance. So he must do this as a duty or as a practice on his level. Because he knows something, he realized something, so that is also enough to help other jivas who don't know anything and who are not inspired to worship Krishna, so that his help is also valuable. So he must do this. Although he himself may not be fully perfect or on topmost level, still he has to help others, because that will be beneficial for those, and because it is his duty and his own practice also. One kind of seva is this. Then parastasmatu bhavonyo vyakto vyaktat sanatanaha yaksa sarveshu bhuteshu nasyatsuna vinashyati. But the eternal unmanifest principle is beyond, more excellent than, and superior to that causal unmanifest principle known as avyakta, as mentioned in Shloka 18. Even at the great cataclysm, that eternal unmanifest principle is not destroyed. Explanation: the eternal unmanifest principle is so very excellent and superior to the above causal unmanifest principle avyakta mentioned in Shloka 18, that even at the cataclysm, that external unmanifest principle is not destroyed, because it is eternal. The causal unmanifest principle refers to Hiranyagarbha, or here it is said Brahman. Hiranyagarbha. This I will have to see. Hiranyagarbha, I have to see. But the point is that eternal realm is above this. That is never destroyed. Whatever is going on in this creation, from Mahavishnu, all this is all always manifest and unmanifest, creation, destruction, all the time going on. But above that, that eternal plane, that is not influenced anything by this thing, material. Hiranyagarbha, that is causal. One is eternal, unmanifest principle, and one is causal, unmanifest principle, refers to Hiranyagarbha. That I have to see what is Hiranyagarbha. Avyaktokshara iti uktas tam ahuh paramam gatim yam prapyana nivartante tadhama paramam mama. That eternal unmanifest principle is known as Akshara or Parampurusha, who is the highest ultimate end of all beings, sentient and insentient. Know that eternal unmanifest principle to be my eternal blissful realm, from which, when ensconced, no traveler ever returns, that is to say, is not born again. When ensconced, I don't know this word, but I can guess it means when one attains, because we know this shloka means this: when one reaches Vaikuntha, yam prapya. Prapya means to attain, to get that transcendent, to get to that transcendental realm, nani vartante, then you will not fall down. Tadhama paramamama. So let me see this word. Ensconced. Yes, it says establish or settle someone in a comfortable, safe place. Or synonyms are settle, install, establish, park, lodge, position, sit, entrench, shelter, like this. So when you attain that Vaikuntha, then you will not fall down. When you are comfortably seated there, in that safe place, when you are settled in that place. Purushasa parah partha bhaktya labhyastva ananyaya yasyantah stani bhutani yena sarvam idam tatam. That Parampurusha, the presiding deity of that eternal blissful realm, is attainable by unswerving, single-minded devotion. O Partha, all beings, sentient and insentient, exist in him, and he exists in them as Antarjamin, means indwelling guide. He is also known as the all-pervading Paramatman. So, Bhaktya labhyastvananyaya. Only by devotion we can attain to that place. Yatra kale tva anavritim chaiva yoginaha prayatayanti tam kalam vakshyami bharatarshabha. O Bharatarshabha, I shall now tell you about the time when, departing from this world, the yogins attain final liberation or further bondage. Explanation. O Bharatarshabha, I will now tell you that I am easily accessible to my true devotees, but those who have not taken recourse to the pure and undeviated devotion, owing to their anti-devotional attitudes of karma, jnana and yoga, find it very difficult to attain to my lotus feet, because their time of departure from this world and the paths followed by them are confined within the four walls of time and space. I shall tell you about the time when, after death, the soul of yogin would either get freed or further bound. That we will hear maybe on Wednesday or Thursday. Tomorrow is a holy day, Lord Jagannath's appearance day, and also two Vaishnavas. And Wednesday also is Shamananda Prabhu. So maybe on Wednesday, if there will be time, or then Thursday, we can continue this.